The newly nominated Chief of Army Staff, Major General Farouk Yahaya, says the cooperation of other arms of the armed forces, other security agencies, and all citizens is all it takes to succeed in the fight against insecurity. Major General Yahaya said this during the screening exercise conducted by the Joint House on Defense and the Army on Tuesday at the National Assembly. The House of Representatives Joint Committee on Defense and Army on Tuesday commenced screening of the newly nominated Chief of Army Staff, Major General Farouk Yahaya. The Joint Committee, which had both the Committees on Defense and the Army, immediately went straight into business, with the Chairman House Committee on Defense challenging the Chief of Army Staff on the need for synergy between the armed forces.
I'm aware that there is this allegation that the three services are not always working together in the past, which is probably one of the reasons why we've been having challenges in trying to cope this threat of insecurity. And when the late Chief of Army Staff came up with a name change from Operation Lafia Dole to Operation Hiding Kai, it shows that probably there was actually a problem. Now he is trying to address the issue once and for all. Unfortunately, you happen to be the person that was appointed as a commander to head that operation, now Hiding Kai. I would like to ask, having stayed there for some few months as the commander of Operation Hiding Kai, not Lafia Dole, will we be safe to say that the three services are cooperating very well, or we still have challenges?
This exercise comes at a very challenging time in the history of our dear country. Our nation has been besieged by several security issues across all the geopolitical zones, with banditry, militancy, and self-secessionists stretching our military to the extreme. The worst is the lingering insurgency in the Northeast. This war has cost the country a lot, both financially and in terms of human lives. This must stop. The armed forces of Nigeria needs to adopt innovative measures to curb the killings and wanton destruction of property as a result of cases of insecurity. I therefore hope that, if confirmed, the new Chief of Army Staff will do everything possible with other service chiefs to bring this to an end.
The newly nominated Army Chief pledged cooperation between not only the other two arms of the armed forces but also other security services and from Nigerians. This follows a question from Chairman House Committee on Army.
From experience, this job cannot be done by any single service or entity. Indeed, in the army itself is a group work. It's not individual. That's why we are arranged in sections and platoons and companies and battalions and brigades. So having passed through also how it was done in some other places, I mentioned Liberia where I've been, this job is collective. And like you have seen in the Operation Hiding Kai, and it was even captured in the vision of the late Chief of Army Staff and in my own vision too. There was also mention of a joint environment in what we do, having realized that this job is not one service job. Not only that, it also requires other agencies and service and stakeholders. And as we speak, Operation Hiding Kai, before I left, has garnered this as a cornerstone for achievement of its mandate. We have always operated together. That's why you see the composition of Army, Navy, Air Force there. And now including the police, DSS, civil defense, and all other stakeholders. And as we know, internal security is really intelligence-driven operation. So we need others, including communities, including people, including opinion leaders, including traditional rulers, and all others who can provide information, because the enemy hides within us. So it is they who should provide information, who should support this war. We work together.
The committee at this point resolved into an executive session for further screening that borders on the security of the country. Annie T. Patrick, Court TV News, Abuja.